last we left the party members, they had fundamentally altered the political fabric of the world. Snarg is currently poised to be the premier supplier of internal security and slowly becoming the enforcement arm of the Dominion, enforcing their will across the continent. Which is exactly what Snarg wants, I'm sure. No, I'm kidding. Snarg.
Whether he knows it or not.
Snarg is also, there's a lot of work being done to connect the Fox Ridge area to more of a geomancy type thing, sort of unconnected to the Order, but also sort of connected to the Order. Guido's Iceer shipping has been expanding extensively, somewhat rapidly, actually, thanks to Guido himself making a lot of deals and being willing to compromise on a few things in order to get it going.
And me.
And who are you again? No, I'm kidding.
Sorry.
Oh, whoops. You're not Zerial. That's actually wrong. I'm sorry. Abilene over there. I don't actually know.
Didn't help Guido. Zerial did.
I don't actually know what Zerial's doing right now and over the next couple months, and we'll figure that out at some point. I'm sure it's nothing super relevant, other than the fact that she's establishing a segregate, which is hilarious, but that can wait. Because she's going to encounter some people when she does that. So that leaves Abilene, who has just been given a new super mega top secret mission, ultra triple secrecy, which is why I'm telling everyone about it.
Bum, bum, bum.
In order to stick to Guido like glue. And for reasons that I shall actually keep off camera. Now, as a result, I actually feel kind of bad because I'm not sure Abilene has a lot to do at the moment. But what we're going to do here is we're going to do a bit of a time skip. Now, this is something I've done a couple of times in the past as a GM, where it's like you've reached a period of time where it's like, okay, we've done all of the immediate adventures, and for example, we want to really renovate our keep, or we want to, go training for a while or whatever, and so you do kind of a time skip and zip forward, and then we get back to the actual adventuring later. Make sense? So I've done this a lot, actually, in my GMing career, and I think this is actually our first real time skip in Primus.
You've been threatening them at various people, but you've never actually used one.
So I don't know how far we're going to time skip. We'll determine that based on the events that happen. But basically we're entering kind of a 100 yards view thing rather than the in-person view thing. Now, in deference to my dear beloved sister, who is not only tired, but has the least to do, I think, what would Abilene like to accomplish in the long term over the next couple of weeks or months?
Well, this would be a good opportunity for her to study under the tutelage of a master weaver to work on her ammunition weaving skills.
That's true. That absolutely could be a thing she could be working on, and that is definitely something that's going to basically consume her every day. She wakes up, she gets clean, and then she goes and studies for 8 to 10 hours. So, because weaving is super freaking complicated, just like most high-skill technical abilities are. So, that makes sense. We could go ahead and do with that. Do you want to cover any of what Zerial's doing on camera, or do you want to just wait on that?
I don't even want to think about what Zerial's doing. She's way too complicated.
That's fine, that's fine. I already have a pretty good idea of what you're going to be doing, and I'm going to force you into it. Mwahaha. I already gave the hint.
She's already got some things that she wants to be doing.
Exactly, so that's not a big issue. Let's get to Snarg and Guido. Now, I don't want to cover you individually. I hate doing that, actually. I hate going down the list as one party member just has to sit there and wait for the other two. So what I'd really like is for you two to coordinate somehow on this one. Work with me, guys.
Well, we recently set up the shipping from, what was that town?
Oh, shoot, hang on, let me pull up my map. Sorry, I have the political game map up, but not this one. Give me a moment. There it is. Okay, so that was Zykal. God, I can't believe I forgot that. And
Yeah,
Myanja.
exactly.
And I think you were doing something with Alfira, too, if memory serves. It was Alfira or Alaka. It was a coastal town. One of the others. One of the two of those.
Well, but specifically working with Snarg, we had hired the people out of Zykal, and we were setting up the trade route to Fox Ridge.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just thinking we've been working on expanding that and hiring more caravan guards and whatnot.
Okay.
Actually going out in the field and...
Let me pull a few dice, first of all. Actually, let's do this as a percentile. We're going to determine how successful that initial one you did is, first of all.
Third, you are muted.
Oh no, apologize. I'm actually working at the same time, so I've got it muted so you don't hear it.
No worries, no worries. Just making sure you were, in fact, aware, so...
So it looks like you were actually doing pretty well. You lost a couple of people, mostly to people who are just like, I'm out. This isn't really interesting to me.
This is actually work.
Yes, exactly. I have to actually work for this. There was, according to this dice right here, there was an attack, but it was a minor attack. So we'll say, like, just some local wildlife, basically. You know, some beasts and whatnot attacked the caravan. They were able to push that away. No losses. That's what the third dice says here. And made it to Fox Ridge. Yeah, that's quite a bit of a trip. That is hilarious to watch, sis. So they made it successfully. It was a bit of a long trip. Upon getting there...
It's very thick spaghetti. I can't wrap it around the fork.
Thick spaghetti's good. I'm thinking about making spaghetti next week, since I'll be alone. And I will enjoy it immensely.
You can make spaghetti even when you're not alone.
That is impossible.
You don't even have to share.
Utterly impossible. Now, so basically, I'm picturing like you guys are in Fox Ridge when the caravan finally shows up. This is going to be a few days later, obviously, because that's a hell of a trek, and they're basically going on foot. I mean, I know they have the actual caravan, but they're still moving at not a great pace.
Right.
They inform you of everything I just informed you of. Like I said, you did have a few desertions. And I'm sorry, I meant to do one more dice. Let's pull this one in for that one. Okay, so it was a long trek and it was kind of boring, and then the fighting was kind of blah, and it was rather uncomfortable. And basically what I'm trying to say is morale is a little bit low as a result of this long trek. So it's up to you to decide what to do with that or how you want to deal with that. Or if you want to deal with it at all, you can just let it ride and just hire in new people. Before we get to that, though, really quick, both of you, I'd like to know if, since it's been a couple of days, do you want to have hired other people in the interim? Now, there's not a lot of options for where to hire from. You do have access to... Oh, I didn't cover that yet, did I? Right. I am so sorry. I didn't cover this. Okay, rewind a little bit. I'm so sorry. Back on May 23rd, right after the events of the previous episode happened, a Sotiris approaches you, which is one of the metal construct creatures that serve the 11. And
Approach who?
The three of you.
Go away.
The thing says, but I can't do it. No, error, and it explodes. Another one.
Right, that was like the scarecrow thing?
Yes. Scarecrow-y kind of like thing. So it shows up, and it says, I have been attached to you as your adjutant. You may refer to me as such if it is your pleasure, or anything else. I will go by whatever name you deem most acceptable.
What's an adjutant?
An adjutant, my dear lady, is something that I actually have to look up the official definition of, because that's the definition he'd give.
Sounds like an educated.
Is a large black and white stork with a massive bill and a bare head and neck found in India and Southeast Asia.
Well, that's the kind of campaign you want to run.
It's right there. It's the second definition of an adjutant. Seriously.
Where's Southeast Asia?
He keeps using this word. I don't think this word means what he thinks it means.
I didn't even know that. Okay, no. Okay, now let's find the proper definition here. A military officer who acts as an administrative assistant to a senior officer. It is also possibly being referred to as a person's assistant or deputy.
So you're a secretary.
No, ma'am. I can perform many duties other than secretarial.
So you're a glorified secretary.
I do have a very nice shiny pin that says adjutant right here. He really does.
What's your name? Your name's not adjutant. Adjutant is your rank. What's your name?
Whatever you seem fit. I don't have one at the moment.
Okay, Bob.
Please do not call me Bob, ma'am. I will be confused for the thousands of other Bobs in this world. For there are so many!
Because literally any NPC that's not a major NPC is Bob.
You may call me Wiyun 2.0. No, let's not do that. Regardless, ma'am, for now you may refer to me as adjutant. Unless you have a different amalgam you'd prefer to use for me.
George.
He turns to Guido. Please call me something else, sir. Anything else. I'm begging you, please! Leave me away from this horrible woman.
John. Robert.
Please, Sir Guido. I'm
Oh.
begging you.
Kentari.
Kintari? Okay. I shall try to go by Kintari. No, I'm just going to call him Adjutant. Because that's kind of how it works. I was specifically created for your purposes.
What purposes would those be?
Well, if you need any
Really weird.
if you need any information, I was created for you, Snarg. If there are any purposes that you would have need of, such as information or communication or transportation or bureaucracy, if you need me to clean your sheets or keep your homes warm or cook for you or arrange your meals or lay out your outfits for the next day or polish your armor, all of these things are things that are within my
Peter
capacity.
doesn't take his armor off. Can you polish it with it on?
Absolutely! And he immediately starts doing so.
Ew. I'm just looking over at Snarg. Why?
Polish.
Why did somebody build a butler for us and send it to us?
Well,
Yeah.
this was as a there's a pause, and then with an air of almost confusion, he says, "Well, you are now allies, correct?"
Correct.
And do not allies take care of each other with the means at their disposal, as you will, assumably, be doing for us in return?
Yes.
Ergo, I was specifically crafted for your purposes.
This is the most human Solteris that I've ever seen.
I was specifically designed
Right.
specifically for these purposes. With some input from a missive Night Whisper. No, I'm kidding.
That would be hilarious.
That would be funny, but no.
I think that would make it less human.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I am here to serve you, Pete. This is what you should be doing. Grab. It is worthy of note, I am not a combat model.
No, it wouldn't say this is what you should be doing. It would say, you idiot, grab.
It is worth noting I am not a combat model. I do not have combat protocols or, well, let's just say that I can't fight worth a damn.
You weren't. You don't happen to know of anyone who'd be like just sending out spell crystals by chance, do you? All right, never mind. Very good in the human confused reaction right there.
Thank you. I've been practicing it all day. I stood in front of the mirror and was like, that does not compute. No, hang on. That does not... No, hang on. That does not compute. And then I just blurred the words together and I got... I'm glad it worked.
All right, so
This is kind of out of character, but well, not kind of. It's totally out of character.
Okay.
I just had two horrible ideas for names for this thing.
Oh, God. Okay.
The first one, as much as it pains me to say, Lore. His brother.
Yeah, I got that immediately.
Yeah. And secondarily, HK-47.
But he can't kill people. Well, I mean, he can. He totally freaking could, but... Interrogative. Why is it you wish to call me by this nomenclature, master?
Meat bags.
So he says, allow me to demonstrate just a fraction of my usefulness. And he reaches out. As I've described, they don't actually have hands. There's a spheres. There's spheres. My grammar is fantastic today. There are spheres of kind of light blue and pinkish energy that rotate around and manipulate things in place of a hand. So the spheres start circling very quickly, and then it retreats them, and you feel yourself suddenly going through this massive violet space of, like, extra-dimensional energy, and then you're at Fox Ridge.
I can do that too. You want to go through my portal?
Of course. That would definitely kill me. No, he actually will turn to you and say, no thank you.
So that just goes anywhere?
Yes.
You don't even have to have been there.
No.
You have to know of it?
No.
I don't even know how that works.
I know. But I am here to serve. There are some limitations on what you're allowed to go to, obviously. I shouldn't have to explain that if you direct me to drop you in the center of the sun, I will probably be disinclined to acquiesce to that request.
Is that just because you have to go with us?
I don't have to go with you.
Oh, okay.
Allow me to demonstrate. Shove! And you're back at Eldritch. He's not there.
Say hello to the random person in the alleyway we spooked. And
There's someone who's like, in meditation, and all of a sudden, ah! Are you desolates?
I'm practicing my magic show. Woo!
Oh, wow, that was very impressive.
Was.
A few seconds later, the agitant comes out from another alleyway. Hello.
My lovely assistant.
Hello. He does a very robotic bow. I have been practicing.
All right. Well, that's very useful. It seems. I guess send thanks. I mean, I don't know. Should we give them something?
I don't think anything was required in trade. I am not a medium. Where are my words today? I am not a medium of currency, sir.
Well, no, I mean it's services, right?
Of course. For example, I could also pull information for you. Ask me a question.
Any question? Okay.
Some will be denied, naturally, for the same reason as before.
I mean, do we like get a limit or something?
Just ask, sir. It's not that complicated.
I-
Here. He walks up to the random person on the street and says, here, you, ask me a question. The person's like, how long is it going to take before I become a summoner? The Sotiris says, never. You do not have the potential. The guy looks heartbroken.
Hey, come on.
It's the truth. He does not have the innate capacity to be a summoner.
Well, first of all, I'd advise against meditating out in the middle of an alleyway to try to do that. But
I was trying to commune with the water ley line. It's been so wonky lately.
oh well, I know a great place.
Really? Where?
Yeah. Well, there's this place,
Recruit Gate.
Crazy Alley Bum.
You now have a guy who is not a summoner and not a geomancer. He is on his way to Fox Ridge as we speak.
He's a bummer.
Yes, the bummoner. The bummomancer. That sounds terrible. Never mind.
No, that's perfect.
That sounds so wrong.
I think you just have bummomancers.
Bummomancers. It's canon now. I said it. Can't take it back.
Yeah. It's gonna be like the Wretched Army.
So the Sitsiris turns around and says, you see, you can simply ask me a question.
Oh, okay. I got it then. So, what would it take to repair the ley lines? You said any question?
The GM has to think about that one.
But there's nothing wrong with the ley lines.
No, I'm pretty sure there is.
Define repair, sir.
There you go.
Restore.
Restore. That's
Restore
a
them to their state before they started. Well, I forget what the date was when they started blowing up.
January 1st.
Yeah. Reverse those effects.
Oh, I see. Well, that would take significant amounts of arch weaving capacity. I'm not certain anyone is currently functional or active who can do that, since Gerlin has ceased being active. The Lady Airfall might be able to pull off something like that. It would require a fairly large amount of souls to do, though, just like last time.
Are you sure that's required?
It would require a significant amount of life energy.
Ooh, significant amount of cat barf, too.
Unfortunately, sir, I am not programmed to deal with cat barf.
Yeah, well, the spray can underneath this kitchen sink is. Well, that's disheartening. Do you think she'd be willing to talk about it, though?
I imagine that I could arrange an appointment for you, if that's something you desire. She's
Yes.
got a bit of a busy schedule,
Although-
being one of the
although-
leaders of the Dominion, but...
Guido and Abilene, I mean, I'm probably should make that like a one-topic meeting, I'm thinking.
One topic meeting.
Yeah, I mean, if we're going to meet with somebody like that, do you have anything you might want to bring to the table?
Oh, I'm sorry, by the way, it should technically be a bit of a surprise to you that the Lady Airful is part of the Dominion. That's news to you.
Is it?
Yep.
Okay.
You knew Rytherin was part of the Dominion. You've heard of Primarch, who was actually the leader of the Biotians. You've heard of the Queen Alyssa, but Airfall being part of this is brand new.
Oh, okay. News to me. But, I mean, that's something to discuss later, not in the middle of an alleyway in Eldridge.
Oh, of course, sir. Vroom. Foxridge.
No. I don't even know if this is where we were heading, but okay.
I was simply demonstrating, sir.
No,
Is there
I got
somewhere
it.
else you'd like to be instead?
This is fine for right now.
Excellent. May I prepare your meals now? I recommend a spiced pimento soup with some leek eels.
Thanks. All right, before this just keeps going on, Guido and Abilene. So I have a teleporting, question answering 11-ite.
I don't know what an 11
I was about to say, I don't think Abilene has ever even heard of the 11.
Oh,
So every time the Solteris is near her, she's like wiggling his arm, trying to get it to come apart,
And it doesn't, of course, because it's basically magically kept there.
grabbing a foot,
And he's just standing there perfectly upright.
climbing up it,
Yes, as
climbing
she's...
up it, trying to pull its head off. How does it work? I want to weave something like this.
And yeah, he's just completely blasé, not even really paying attention, just...
Grabbing the ears.
I've got
Maybe if I shoot
another question.
Sasha, I can take it apart.
Oh, let me see that.
If I shoot you with Sasha, will you die?
No. I am not a combat model, but I assure you I am quite durable.
Let's not try that.
Chakunk!
Please do not shoot me, ma'am. It would be most unpleasant, and an act of war.
I'm going to gently, with
You want to
just
play
my,
Russian roulette with me?
Of course, ma'am. Please explain the rules. Also, what is a Russian?
I don't know. It's a game.
Ironically, I do know what a Russian is. But you don't, of course.
It's where you play roulette very fast.
Yes. Or as you're, like, running
I
down
pull
the...
out my little derringer. This is a game. It's not an act of war.
Of course. And this is also a game. Grab, teleport. You're in Crater now. And then he leaves.
Sasha?
Few seconds later, reappears. Grab. Zhunk.
Sasha!
Have I made my point clear?
Shiver, shiver, shiver.
I am here to...
That's what we call in people terms a threat.
I am trying to be here to serve you. This is my purpose. I was told that humor is a good way to allow people to, you know...
There's a tiny fur ball that's wrapped around Sasha.
You do not appear to be
I don't know
humored.
where you sent her, but apparently it was not good.
You do not appear to be humored. I appear to be lacking some of the... Maybe I should install this emotion chip I just got from my dead brother.
Please don't.
Of course. So you said you had another question, Sir of Wildpaw.
Oh, yeah. You know the Great Green Mage extinction, right?
Of course.
Is it true that the presence of so many in one place is what caused that?
No.
What did cause it?
That's a good question. Unfortunately, I do not know.
Why?
That's also a good question. There has been research and effort put into it, if that's what you're asking. The 11 have spent significant time studying the matter, but the results are illogical, so we are not entirely certain what was happening, or why. It appears that there were some conflicting energies that happened to go through the ley line, and those energies that went through the ley line affected those directly connected to the ley line, which included the ley cells and green mages. There were also geomancers who were affected by this, although that's less reported.
Oh, because the Order seems to believe that, Aveling, and they were concerned about that as far as the little conclave. Apparently it's not very interesting.
Perhaps I can make this up to you, Miss Evangeline. And he starts making tea. It's really good. It is, in fact, the best tea you've ever drunk. In fact, it reminds you of tea you had when you were young, that you haven't had since then, and you just now remembered. This was on record as your favorite tea. I hope it is sufficient. Oh, more, of course. Mr. of Graniteholm, I also have a drink for you, and he handles you this jug. It's clunk.
I'll try it.
And then, of course, to Mr. of Wildpaw, it's a little leather skin, water skin.
Oh, thank you. Never have too much of this.
And then he gives more tea back to Aveline. There's only so much, ma'am. Be careful, it's still warm. Okay.
So I'm assuming this this individual can operate for 24 hours, right?
Yep.
Due to expected approaching inclement weather, all campuses will be closed at 12 p.m. on Friday, January 6th.
Yep. They're closing schools around here too.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Because it might snow tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay, so just as a bit of amusement point, every relative of mine is currently living under snow. And most of my friends, too, Pax and Gary.
Yeah, so as of right now, it is supposed to rain tomorrow.
Oh my god!
Well, I know it sounds silly, but if you've seen the people around here when it snows, you understand why they not force people, but advise people to stay inside.
Okay.
There's no equipment to deal with snow at all.
Yeah.
Not even government has any around here.
Got it. Moving on.
We actually got about 6 inches of snow yesterday.
But yeah,
and it is just sheet ice today.
Yeah, that's exactly what Gary's situation has been in lately. Okay, so you have your new adjutant.
What I was actually going to suggest is, because I know it'd be very useful to Guido, essentially teleporting and basically be able to get the best routes, get information on anything.
If I can interrupt really quick, if you, just to make sure that you guys aren't abusive towards this guy, if you want him to shuttle goods around, he's going to say no. But if you want to get him to get information like that, like basically the best. He mentioned Messenger earlier. He can literally go there, talk to them, go there, and you could have a response as if as if it was modern age.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm not saying like make him a pack mule because that would be a waste. But
that would be
boring. But negotiator, like I said, he can literally scope out the best routes, maybe discover new ones. Competitor information.
Yeah,
all sorts of stuff. Probably also very useful to Abilene as well.
That's true.
Because since she's going to be studying and he's literally a repository of information, if there is some information that you need, he can literally just go and get it immediately.
I have information on why you hurt yourself just now.
Well, what do you two think?
Mountain Dew, the drink of Primus.
Good idea. He's a good info dealer. I told you that's pretty much all I've got going on right now.
Study.
Yeah.
Well, Abilene, are you interested in helping coordinate some order stuff at Fox Ridge?
Sure. Is Guido going to be there?
Wait.
Well, not permanently.
Do me a weird favor, Guido. Roll an int roll with like a -10.
Okay. Do I get my chaos die?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, Snark, he's kind of, like big and tall and rocky.
Everything you're not.
That's true, actually, if you think about it. From a purely physical perspective, Snarg and Guido are quite differentiated. What'd you get?
You said at a -10?
Yeah, -10 after you're done, basically.
That's an 8.
Excellent! Guido, thanks to your bad int roll, you're starting to suspect Abilene has a crush on you.
Or she wants you to build her stuff, but...
That might be true, too, since, the whole gun fixation thing she's got going on.
She does know I'm an engineer.
Yep. And she might be aware of the fact that you've worked with psionic tech, too. And since Mag Lancers are actually an outcropping of reverse-engineered psionic tech...
And airships.
And airships, yep.
Do I know that?
You do. All of the above.
Okay. I know these things.
So anyways, you now have the adjutant. Now we can get back to the long-term stuff, but I wanted to make sure that you had him at your disposal before you did that, because I'm an idiot. So again, to return to my earlier question, do you want to hire anybody before, in the couple of days you have before your original crew shows up? Either of you, both of you. Abilene, you can hire people too.
I hire Bob to go fetch me materials from Eldritch to read.
Do you want me to walk all the way to Eldritch?
I've got a name for him.
Okay.
Vincent.
Didn't we have somebody in our party named Vincent at one point?
No.
Vital information necessary centralized.
Necessary. I love it.
You know what that's from?
No, I don't, but I like it anyways.
1979 Disney movie, Black Hole.
Oh, no, I do know that. I've actually seen that movie.
There's a little floating robot?
Yeah. I actually remember
I was
that.
Vincent.
Okay, we'll call him Vincent then. And Abilene's now an elf instead of a what you figure?
No, these are my dog ears.
Oh,
I
sorry.
got a haircut.
Abilene is a dog. Well, no, she's a fox, but no, she's a.
These are my fox ears. I got a haircut.
Okay, so we'll call him Vincent from now on. The adjutant is now Vincent.
Only that's more like they're up here.
So, I'll assume that's a no, because nobody's answered.
Vincent
Sorry,
is
what was the
fine.
question?
Do you want to hire anybody in the couple... Do you want to do anything in the couple of days before the caravan shows up? You have like 2 days to burn. 3 days, actually.
Oh.
Hold on. Let me just look.
What the heck are you doing, sis? I just suddenly hear... And you're not on the camera. Oh, you're down. Why are you down? Where? That's your foot. That's your foot.
We've got a
I had to
player
drop my
down.
horns on the floor under the desk.
Oh my god. Okay.
Player down.
Yes, player down. Get the emergency Mountain Dew.
I want to see if I can do any initiate any trade routes in or around Eldritch.
All right. No.
I go.
I'm just gonna say that right out. Eldritch is such a different entity, politically, economically, culturally, religiously, that the very concept of trade routes is something that is kind of alien there. Almost all of their money, as I think I've described before, flows in, not through. Now,
There's nothing that they need in trade.
correct, because they're actually the wealthiest organization in the entire continent. Now, that being said, if you want to try and gain some clout with the Order by also donating or trying to work with them, that's separate. But trade specifically isn't on the table.
Okay.
What are you doing, sis?
I don't know.
Is that not you that I'm hearing?
No, it's me.
Oh, okay. I heard like a... Yes, that. What are you doing?
I'm trying to figure out how to get out from under my desk.
Ladies and gentlemen, my
you
sister.
could ask Kazra for help.
No, he's stuck too, don't you see?
No.
No.
Maybe he'll just pantomime being me.
Anyway,
Ezra, wave at the good people.
well done.
Oh my god.
He's playing Mad Max. He's having troubles. Look for the ladder. It's normally on the left.
Could you at least mute yourself for a bit, sis?
So if there's no trade opportunities in or around Eldritch, I think I would follow up with either the hireling that we didn't work out stats for,
Okay.
or the other one that I don't have her code name.
Okay.
FTB41.
I like it. Ftborn. There we go. That's how you pronounce that. What about you, Snark?
Lunasha.
Since you've got some time going. Lunasha. Oh, Lunasha. Yeah. The one who needs a code name. That's right. Because, yeah, obviousness. Unless you want to be associated with the former Confederacy.
FTB41 is her code name now.
For the best?
FTB41.
Yeah, FTB. For the best.
41.
40 for one. For the best for one. That makes sense. That's kind of the goals of a corporation anyways, right? The best for Guido. It makes sense.
You were going to talk to Snarg.
Snarg, so you also have some time here while he's catching up on those characters. Obviously, there's going to be some bureaucracy involving the Order trying to... I shouldn't say the Order, that's actually inaccurate, but the new organization that I'm going to make you name of Geomancers, who is slowly spilling into Fox Ridge and getting the word out, so to speak, especially in these interesting and tumultuous times. Really quick, is anybody interested in what's going on in the show right now, or am I just going to leave that for other stuff? I mean, that's fine. It actually is totally cool. It just occurred to me that none of the current characters' interests align with them, so the stuff that's happening over there right now isn't really significant.
Yeah, I mean, if it's keeping to itself over there, Snark's probably doesn't have a huge interest in it now.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I assumed as much. Okay, so yeah, there's that. There's the possibility of hiring new, just raw recruits. Now that you have access to greater political clout, you have the availability of actually hiring people, whereas before the odds of doing so were almost non-existent. You also are in a weird position, Snard.
Okay.
So here's the thing: the war just ended, right? The two sides that were fighting just joined forces.
Sure.
And the third side that was going to invade when the two sides were weak also joined forces. So all three combatants are now a part of the same organization.
Mm-hmm.
That means there are quite literally millions of troops out there who are about to find themselves out of a job.
Yes.
You suddenly are in a, I guess that would be a seller's market.
Whatever it's called. One where it's good for me.
Yeah, exactly. I'm pretty sure that's seller's market, because buyer's market would be the bad thing. But, or maybe it is I don't know. Whatever. The point is they're super cheap. You have the pick of literally millions, and if it is your request, the Dominion, and therefore, as a result, Alluvia and Neveri and all the everything in between, can start putting out the word on an official matter, saying, "Hey, you're still looking for work in a military fashion, but don't want to actually be part of the army anymore, or have just lost your job. There's this organization called the Blood Fox. They're hiring."
Yeah.
And they could totally put out the word on that, and that will make people, I'm just going to tell you right now, that's going to make people flock to Fox Ridge.
Yeah. I mean, we're still going to keep our standards, but yes.
Okay. So there's like a meeting about that, and I'm assuming you would want to like word the message yourself to kind of emphasize, we're not looking for thugs, we're not looking for crude, we're looking for skilled people, or people. Actually, this is a question. Are you looking for skilled people and people looking to become skilled, or just skilled people?
Both.
Okay.
Although what I'd probably do is I'd actually tell Taranok what to say, and he'll actually word it in
Okay.
more social manner,
Okay.
socially
Yo!
accepted manner.
We have airships.
Yeah. Translate that.
Got it. You got it, boss. I'll get right on it, boss. And he will do that and get the word out. It'll obviously take a while for people to even start reaching you, but eventually that's going to happen. So it occurs to you guys, because it would, that the massive influx of interest both to Aesir shipping and to Snarg, along with the fact that the Dominion is effectively pulling out of Fox Ridge, because they no longer need it as a military outpost, right? So they're basically giving you back everything that they built, and it's all yours now. You're still in a situation where having a large... How do I put this? You're not equipped to deal with millions of people right now. Fixing that might be something that would be doable, that you should do. And you all three of you actually have options to do this, and many different options between you, and combined you have options to do this. But I'm not going to tell you any of those because I'm going to make you think. I don't know what that means, other than the fact that I think you want to be under the table again. No! Come back! I was kidding! Come back!
Pretty sure she's pointing at us.
Okay. Just Abeline's contribution to this is obviously she is massively connected. Ignoring the fact that she is connected to the Order, which has its influence mostly on a civilian sector, because the overwhelming majority of the Order is civilian. There's also the fact that she is a well-known, well-rounded person who has made contacts over the last 20 years as an elite agent of the Third Wing. So she has the ability to call in people. Obviously, information is going to be at your disposal almost infinitely, thanks to the thanks to Vincent, who's with you. And the other two, I'm going to make the two of you think, though. So that's her contribution to this. Go back to playing Hit.
Really quick, the guy that I rescued in Fox Ridge and took him to the other dimension.
Yes, the general, or the colonel, actually. Excuse me.
Was it Colonel or General Teresco?
It might have been a general. It was a member of the Directorate, and therefore a Daracost. God.
I'm just trying to add notes here. I left him in the show Empire. If there was something going on, I'm sure it would get back to me through him.
That's true. I'll go ahead and give you like tidbits, but basically what's happening in the show Empire right now is that the show Empire is slowly folding. The Alterationists are receiving a massive amount of support from one Lord Farron of Silent Blade, who has been quietly sending supplies and reinforcements and information and just general support, money as well, lots of money, to the Alterationists, which is, as it happens, the only reason the Alterationists were ever able to do anything against the Traditionalists, because the Traditionalists vastly outnumbered the Alterationists. As a result of his aid, he's got lots of sway there. He then uses his connections to connect them to Alluvia, which then, by default now, connects them to the Dominion. So what's happening is a peaceful transition of power, and long story short, by the end of the month, the show Empire will also be part of the Dominion.
I'll just send word back if there's any opportunities for trade. You know.
I started a war in this setting, and then bit by bit the players have stopped it by unifying all the sides together. I don't even know what to say about that.
Well, there's still the Osteth.
There is still the Osteth, and they're going to be a prickly problem. Ironically, because of Guido.
Damn it.
You renamed...
There's also the Dry Reach.
There's also the Dry Reach problem. That's a much bigger problem, but we won't talk about that right now. The Tumorok is not... Yeah, anyways. Okay, so let's fast forward a couple days. So you've been doing some of the things we've been talking about. You've been getting some of the information, just doing some basic stuff. Snarg was having his meetings. Guido obviously trying to strengthen his trade route situation. Your caravan shows up. Like I said, some of them, their morale is low. And it occurs to you that this is going to be a problem in general, and it's a problem you need to solve, because morale is going to be low in general for these kind of caravans. Now, there are plenty of ways to do that. I'm not going to tell you what those are. That's not the point. The point is I want you guys to address this problem in whatever manner you see fit. Be it ignore it, or be evil, or be pseudo-evil, or try to be nice. These are all options, and I got dice at the ready for all this. And I want both of you to address it, because it's both the trading and the guards that were defending it. So it is both of you guys.
Well, I mean, what's the issue? Are they just bored, or what?
It was a long frickin' trip, and my feet hurt, and I've got sores everywhere, and God, we had terrible basic rations the whole time, and oh God, and no grog, and I didn't even get to do anything. I got to bash a couple of frickin' bears on the way here, for God's sakes. And on top of that, there were some reed sharks, and they nibbled me as I was trying to sleep, and then John woke me up, and oh my God, his snoring was terrible.
Oh, so we just get rid of John, and the whole problem's solved.
Yeah. John's like, no! I was loyal!
He's actually the most enthusiastic of everyone.
Yeah, exactly. John's like, dude, this is great! This is the best job ever. I can't wait to do my next run.
Alright. Well... So let's see. Well, first of all, it sounds like their equipment sucks. So
Their equipment is pretty crap, and definitely not designed for comfort or fighting all that well.
yes, so maybe we can throw some money at that to help that a bit.
And as I mentioned, their rations are pretty bad too.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not saying get Gordon Ramsay to accompany them or anything like that, but that could be some more. We could throw some more money that way.
Why didn't we hire Cookie? Wasn't he the guy from like Clint Eastwood movie? Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Was it that one? His movies blur a little bit for me, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, they're also similar.
But I know you're talking about. It's especially because Warcraft actually made a reference to that character with a Murloc, who was a chef. Of course. A terrible chef. No, so a couple options that occur to me if you want to fling money at this. You could literally just buy them better rations. You could hire a cook and send them with supplies, meals cooked on the way, you could hire a cook and a hunter. Get them fresh meat and then have it cooked as they go. You could pay them more so they shut up and just endure the harsh conditions. You can tell them to suck it and just hire more people. And then just expect it's like the Walmart strategy, they expect a high turnover rate.
Well, ideally, I don't know, I can't speak for the merchants and the people pulling the goods, but I don't really want to go that direction. That's that's PTC tactics. And now that the war is ended, they're probably my main competitor. But
yeah.
Which, by the way, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, the PTC is definitely hiring right now. Lots of hiring.
Well, we get the good guys, they get the bad guys.
So I would be more inclined to hire a cook and
named Cookie
and a hunter.
Okay.
And increase the quality of, yeah.
There are better rations than just tack, Yeah. And
Not,
I mean, this as I do.
Yeah. So you have tack, you have MREs, and then you have Gordon Ramsay.
There's nothing in between.
Well, no, the MREs are the in between.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
Gold shaving hot chocolate.
Yes.
Right.
Now, actually, one thing we could potentially do as well is that it sounds like the length is just incredibly long. I mean, is there any opportunities to do shorter routes, but have more of them?
So one thing you could do, I'm staring at the map right now. That was a route from Zykal straight to Fox Ridge, which is basically hit the Far Reach, which is the name of the mountain chain, and then just kind of follow the western edge of it until you get to the point where you're at Fox Ridge. It's a long frickin' journey, and there's nothing there. If you decided to have it go through the mountains and said there's actually 2 other towns on the way, Alaman and... I can't quite read my own thing. Binga, yes. And that would enable them to stop, take a load off their feet, trade, maybe spend some of the... It's the port thing for a Navy man. You spend your money when you get at the port kind of a thing. Mm-hmm. So they can get some entertainment, get some fun, and get some R&R time, and then next morning pick up and start heading to the next town. Another option you could do, if you decide to be really ambitious, there's kind of an empty space there. Actually, it's a fairly large empty space. You could support the founding of a new town in there and have it be a port of your own trade hub, and then that would be a town that you basically control as part of the new Dominion, and it would serve the same function. Or what else? What other options are there? You could also invest in the development of a new road, because they were going over terrain that whole way. There's no roads on that particular stretch of land, so you could actually have them going on paved and patrolled roads, which again I find this amusing. Most people nowadays don't understand the importance of roads. Try running on terrain versus a road sometime. I'm sure Guido knows what I'm talking about. I don't know if you do too, Snarg, if you've ever done that.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's the difference between shooting even just rough terrain and a trail.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. So you could invest in a road, and you could do some combination of these things, too. These are just ideas that came to mind to me.
Guido, what if you started laying track down?
That's also a possibility. I didn't even think about that. You could totally start up a new railway route. Whoops.
Okay, you've already got a track that goes over there that you could connect it to. Are the railways still shut down?
Yes, because the railways are actually run by the Osteth, and they're kind of...
Well, here's one problem I'm seeing. Most of the railroad is not in Osteth territory. So I'm thinking some annexing is going to happen.
Yeah, that's very, very likely. Also, the odds of the railway expanding is, I'd say, 100%, regardless of you guys. Because for the same reason that railways expand in real life, it's a fantastically useful way of cargoing.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that I remember asking about probably a year or so ago, real time now, was inventing, for lack of a better term, railroad turnarounds.
I do remember that. And at the time, I was like, well, that's a little beyond your reach. That has ceased to be true. So, I think that is actually totally feasible, yeah.
I want to... Hey, Vincent.
So, he appears. Oh, by the way, I'm sorry, just for the purposes of lore, he gives each of you a small crystal. It is a small little diamond, kind of like this, and you use it, and that's basically a beacon. Hey, come to me. He says he will get to you as quickly as possible. If he's under dire circumstances or dealing with something, there'll be a delay, but that's how you get his attention if he's not there, just for the sake of the future.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So anyways, after a few seconds, he shows up.
Okay.
Oh, that reminds me. I'm sorry. This is just for my own amusement's sake, but he's going to give a nickname to each of you. So Guido, you're the mogul.
The mogul. Okay.
Snarg is the general, by the way.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I can't hear anyone else speaking right now, so I guess there's no one else to address with regards to. He will call you the heroine. No! Female hero. Okay, fine. No needles. Fine. You get the title of Dumpy. McDumpyson. The dumpiness of all dumpiness. Okay, fine. Let me think of another one.
It's so fluffy.
So I just got a missed call from a number that when I tried to call it back said, "We're sorry, this number is no longer in service."
Okay.
And this number that is no longer in service apparently left me a voicemail.
That's fun.
Oh, this should be entertaining.
I can't send pictures, can I?
Congratulations. You're a proud recipient of a timeshare.
Never mind. It was the campus calling me to tell me that we were going to have inclement weather tomorrow.
Inclement weather.
Maybe.
No. Anyways, I don't know. Help me out, sis. What's Abeline's title? Since you don't want to be the hero. Who is female?
I'll be the hero, but I don't want to be the heroine.
Fine. The hero. Congrats. God. Okay, so anyways, so Vincent
My
shows up
tummy is angry, by the way.
from the spaghetti?
Probably actually from lunch.
Oh, gotcha.
It's Mexican joint.
Well, yeah, I mean that makes sense.
I mean, there's only so much I can do with Mexican joint.
So he shows up and says, Mogul, how can I help you?
What do you think the likelihood of success, and who would I need to talk to increase that likelihood about expanding the railway?
Calculating, please
For
wait.
ice and shipping.
You remember in the old sci-fi shows, like the old original Star Trek, they would play the sound of the computer working, just like real computers at the time had.
Calculating.
He does think about that for moments. He says, that is going to be rather pricey, I think. There's going to be a fairly large amount of resources required in the construction. However, the good news for your part is that even though the original architects of the railway are locked away and no longer at your disposal, you have access to information and people who know how to make railways. And he's actually doing this. He's actually, he doesn't have a face, obviously, but he's just. And so after pointing at himself like that, he says, so the odds of doing this, I'd say, are about 70-ish% of chance of success. To increase that, I would recommend going ahead and trying to get political support to help assuage not only the needs of resources, but labor and supplies. Or, I said that wrong. Supplies, resources... No, I keep saying this wrong. Supplies, equipment, and laborers. That's the key thing. And those are the 3 pinnacle things that will be important for you to start expanding the railway. For example, if you were to approach Al-Jalima's current state governor, who has not yet joined the Dominion, and that needs to be dealt with.
Wait, who?
The Tultarn, the governor of Al-Jalima. Tultarn of Amani, I think, just off the top of my head. And either way, the governor of Al-Jalima, which is not actually a part of the Dominion, but if you were to approach him and try to get the political support of the Al-Jalima state, blah, 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 blah. And there's basically trying to get local support wherever it is you're trying to lay track.
Sure. Okay.
Is there anything else I can do for you, Mr. Mogul?
So would the Dominion or the 11 be interested in assisting with financing?
That is a complicated question, he says after a moment's thought.
Yes.
Because the Dominion as a whole is not 100% unified yet. It's only been a couple days. So there are certain groups within the Dominion that might be able to, but all I can do is get you an interview. Not an interview, excuse me, wrong term.
A meeting.
Yeah, thank you. There's actually a more official term for that I was looking for, but yeah, a meeting. I can get you a seance with the Dominion. I don't know.
We get the Ouija board.
Yes. Will you support this particular financial clause as listed in Proposal B12?
Magic 8 ball.
Magic 8 ball, there you go. Need more information. Okay.
Try again later. Yeah. Okay. So what I'm going to do then is go back to my caravan managers.
Okay.
And start and have them start approaching the leaders of the areas that they're going through.
Okay.
To talk to them about the possibility of we want to expand the railway down through this area. We want to hire local workers who have been displaced by the war and, put them to work doing this, expansion. That will increase, trade through the area. We can install trade stops, whatever it's called.
Depots? Or depots?
Not a depot.
I think I know what you're talking about, but I can't think of the term.
A place where the train stops. I don't know.
The train slows down and then stoppeth locationeth.
Yeah,
The depot?
yeah, those things.
Station?
Train stations, yeah, I guess.
No, there is another term for that.
And so that would increase the area's viability, increase their profits. It's
Terminal.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking of. Terminal. Okay, so now here's a question. Are you going to ask the caravan leaders to do this? Or are you going to go out of your way to either reassign one of your existings or hire someone whose basically job it is to have a high charisma to try and sell them on this? Now that means another person to pay for, and that means another mouth to feed, but I'll tell you right now, their odds of success are going to be way higher.
Yeah, I think that would be the smarter way to do it. I wasn't thinking of the caravan masters. I was thinking more along the lines of Lunacha or the other guy that we haven't named yet. But I think hiring a new person specifically for that would be wiser.
Okay. Let me do a quick dice roll here. See how good they're... actually, I want to do this way. 6, 7, 8, 9, 11. I think I did that wrong. Hang on. Let me just do it this way. Let's make this easy. Okay. So you get someone with, I don't, the rest of the stats don't really matter that much. I mean, if you want to fill out the rest of the stats, that's up to you. But he has 16 charisma to start, which is pretty decent. He or she, it doesn't actually matter. They. And they are basically a... Let me give you a choice, actually. You can have that person. Now, they're pretty on the level. They believe in truth in advertising. So they're going to be approaching these people and attempting to basically rationale their way into victory. You know, here's the benefits it'll provide you. Here's the cost it'll be incumbent upon you. Here's what your stake in the thing will be. You know, that kind of a thing, right?
Okay.
The other person has a higher charisma and therefore a higher basic chance of success. But this person is a salesperson, and I mean that in the bad sense of the word.
No, I'm going to go with that first one.
Okay. I thought I'd give you the option at least. Yeah, the snake oil salesman is willing to lie and do whatever necessary to make these sales happen, and would probably succeed, but...
If such a thing exists, I would like to find a piece of gear that may increase their charisma or increase their chances of success in some way, you know, magically. Like a cloak or...
Let me do a roll, because... Oh, that's not too bad. We'll go ahead and say you find something that effectively raises their diplomacy.
Okay.
So, and that'll cost you like 300 gold for that cloak.
Okay.
So that's settled. That person will start going with caravans pretty much immediately. You know, hired, set to go. For the interests of Rule 0, I've actually been thinking about this, but I want both of your opinions on this. I've been thinking about not literally tracking all the finances. I can do that. I'm good at that. And I can set up a spreadsheet specifically to track your guys' finances for Ice shipping and for the Blood Fox. But again, Rule 0 trumps everything, so if you want me to not do that, I'm cool with just eyeballing it.
Yeah, I mean, I think, unless anyone else really wants to get into it, I think the approach that actually, whatchamacallit, D20 Modern uses is pretty good, which you just have like a couple levels and you're either extremely wealthy or somewhere below that.
Yeah. GURPS also has a system, like levels of wealth, and it's like 1 to 6.
Yeah.
And just your wealth level is what your output is. And that's it.
Similar with White Wolf.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that one. Because that's relevant to the whole prestige thing for the clans and the cast and all that. Anyways, so yeah, okay. So are we in agreement on that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Abilene, you don't get a... No, I'm kidding. Okay, so that being settled, Snarg. So you obviously support, I'm assuming, the idea of the hunter-cook combo?
Yes.
Now, so Guido is working to make this trade route thing better. You still have the option to do some things on your end if you want to. You don't have to, but we've already listed some options. Do you want to pursue anything?
Well, aside from getting them some better equipment and stuff, and also make my mistake, if there are people who are literally just not great at their job and they're just whining because they suck at it.
Yeah, there are such people.
They're not going to be caught. They're going to be let go.
But there are people who have legitimate grievances. I mean, that
Yes.
trek was actually pretty brutal and pretty unpleasant.
Well, I think the first thing to do would be something that they're actually pretty good at, which is actually establishing an actual trail, which should turn into a road and maybe other things in the future.
Okay, now do you want this initial one to just be between Zykal and Fox Ridge? Or do you want to do something else with it?
Just for planning we're doing in a few days. Initially, yes.
Well,
but,
I mean, we could move past the few days mark. I haven't set an outward time limit on this time skip.
For initially just for just a few days, yes.
Okay. Part of the reason I ask is one of the other things that occurred to me is you could have, for example, Mayanja is almost straight west of Fox Ridge. So you could have the route go down to Mayanja on the Gold Road and then cut over. It'd be longer, but the path you would need to make would be shorter. But that's up to you.
Maybe would ask the people who've actually, been through that route what they think would be better. But
Anything but this frickin' oh god! Do you know how many rocks I have in my boot? Hang on. Pulls off his boot. Oh, I actually have rocks right here.
I think doing a straight route would be good, and then we can connect it halfway through to the Gold Road later if needed.
Okay, straight route it is. Meanwhile, Abilene. Your teacher, Miss, I can't remember her name. It was the Weaver I specifically gave you guys to give you guys custom equipment. I can't think of her name right now, but it doesn't matter. Bobina has an idea for you for your lessons. Now, you have some weaving skill right now, right? I'm almost positive you do. So, she overhears this conversation between Snarg. This is after a couple days have passed. So, the caravan has arrived. They've got issues. And now you're dealing with that. Guido's decided to start working the train thing and hire someone to be a charisma. Snarg is starting to work on his own trail thing and weeding out the idiots. And you can weave new boots for these people. Boots that literally have a weaving enchantment of comfort. Or anything else that you could think of. That's just my initial thought. I know you're not in a super creative mood right now, but I opened the door on that. You're also still muted.
Can I weave laces of untying? Like, staying tied?
Oh, I'm like, you want them to trip constantly? What the hell? I didn't know you were that evil. That's like petty evil. God, yes, you can absolutely weave it so the laces will basically lock into place and help keep their boots on, which will also reduce the amount of rocks they get in their boots. So that's totally feasible.
Comfort.
And
so
comfort.
They get rocks in their boots.
And then there's like a command, whatever, that releases the laces. Yeah, that's totally feasible.
I'm not going to tell them the command. So when they get back, they'll have really stinky feet.
Why would you do that? Roll a d20. Roll a weaving roll. I don't know what the weaving is.
Dice.
So
I don't know. I've got it open.
Okay. There should be a number. Ooh. Add +1 to whatever it is. Like on your sheet, add +1.
31.
What?
Weaver, skill level, 31.
No, that makes sense. Okay, that's right, because of the new system. Sorry. So add a 1 to that.
Weaver, skill level, 32. Is this a permanent?
Yes, that's part of the training that you've been receiving. And will receive for like the next month or whatever.
17 plus 32.
No, 17 is what I needed to know. Okay, so... You can either... If you want to... So that's going to cost you 1 crafting X regardless, okay? If you want to burn a second crafting X, you can... like, make these really good, basically. Or you can make them just the lace tie thing and nothing else.
I was assuming that wait, lace tie thing and nothing else. I thought we were doing comfort and shoelace tie.
Like I said. You can burn 2 crafting X to get comfort and lace tie.
I will burn 2 crafting X, but it better get me more weaving experience.
It will help, and that will cover all of the boots, not just one pair, obviously. So Abilene approaches Snarg at some point and says,
Hey, I made these. You want a pair?
What do they do?
Does Snarg wear
Try
shoes?
them on.
Is Snarg capable of wearing shoes? I mean, he's got the Draenei effect going on. Or the Tauren
We just
effect.
chop the front ends off and it'll be good.
Or the
I
troll
slide
effect.
one on his paw. His hand paw.
Oh, they're foot shoes.
And then the laces go...
They let you walk in there at...
It's pretty. It's pretty comfortable.
Help!
No, it's really comfy.
It's really comfortable.
Oh,
You're having a really hard time getting the
Straight jacket.
Yeah, it's a very comfortable straitjacket. You're like, oh, this is awesome. Thank you so much.
oh, this is pretty cool. Yeah.
You can't get them off unless you're wearing both of them at the same time.
Oh, okay. I'll put the other one in my hand.
Same hand.
Yeah, the same
Put it on
hand.
the other hand.
I can walk on my hands all the time.
So Snarg starts walking on his. He doesn't even need to roll dex. He's just, oh, that's great. And your hands feel fine. They're very comfy.
They'll never expect this.
You're gonna leave him like that till after lunch.
Oh my god.
So I'll just eat with my feet, I guess. Sit there and do. Oh, I found it. Hang on. I'm gonna post something. This is a really old comic, but
Where are you putting it? Oh, you putting it in chat?
mm-hmm.
I don't see it because I'm not in Skype.
This reminds you of the current situation.
No, it's in the Zoom chat.
Zoom chat.
I don't see it.
I literally just.
Oh.
It went to.
Send it to me. Yeah.
I don't know how that happened.
I don't see anything. Here we go. Okay. Ah, yes, I actually remember that exact comic. Because I, am terrible. Chop. Roll you for the booties. Today, Vincent is preparing a meal of roasted sandwiches with cucumbers and asparagus and mushrooms and chicken. And it is
Snarg has
served...
boof print sandwich.
And boof print sandwich.
Mm.
It's actually specifically designed to be eaten with boots, sir, just for you. And
Well,
it's,
thank you. Don't know why you have a recipe like that.
well, you'd be surprised how often this comes up, sir.
I don't think we want those people in here.
I'm just saying, sir. All of your people eat with their feet. 100%
So Guido, you should role play walking in and finding Snarg.
eating with his boots.
Tastes like leather.
Problem is, I walk in, see that, turn around and walk out.
But then
Bacon for me.
you smell the bacon wafting over
Ah,
you.
damn.
The bacon.
Why does it have to be bacon?
The bacon. Okay, so Abilene has provided boots, which will increase comfort significantly. Guido, you've done that. Okay, so, and then we just jump forward a little bit. Let me check my notes here. I've got a couple here. Because I've been taking notes on my phone lately, because I'm stupid. Okay, one of the other things that occurs to you guys as you get these trade routes going and whatnot is that you could basically turn Fox Ridge into whatever at this point. You're going to have a massive influx of people. You're going to have recruits wanting to fight. You're going to have a lot of merchants and bean counters and dock workers, basically. Not dock workers, but, there's actually a term for that. There's a whole union
For
for
the
it.
airship dock, right?
Well, yeah, but what I actually meant is I'm assuming you're still running goods through Fox Ridge. So the people who carry the goods from
Distribution
point
center.
A to point... Yeah, distribution center, the people who work that.
Warehouse workers.
And then, of course, there's going to be people who are going to want to live here to support those people who make food, people who make medicine and entertainment. And what you've basically got is the foundings of a city here.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know about you guys, but this sounds basically like a city that's going to happen.
That being said, it is this right now. It's like May 26th right now. You have plenty of time to chop that
Maybe
off
you
if
could buy
you
a
want
few
to.
acres around the mountain.
I was going to say, you could chop this off. You could let it do whatever, laissez-faire. I don't know how to pronounce that. Laissez-faire? Whatever.
Laissez-faire. That sounds... It's spelled weird, so...
Yeah. Or you could encourage it and try to mold it as it's happening. And maybe there's some other options I'm not thinking of.
Well, I don't know about everybody else, but I'm going to encourage it. And as a matter of fact, I have a list of things that it's going to do.
What about encouraging them to because we have like a base up here, right, on Fox Ridge?
Yeah, there
So
is
what if we encourage them to build their city at the base of the mountain?
that is totally feasible as well. There's a large amount of forested area there, which would provide immediate raw resources for a lot of stuff.
And clearing the forest to build the homes for the town. Would provide a good farming area.
Exactly. This area is also quite lush, very fertile. So,
Yeah, definitely for it, and also molding some of the things that's going on. For example, the Geomancer Enclave /
absolutely. Before we
happened.
hang on, real quick, before you go into your ideas, Guido, I haven't heard your thoughts on this yet.
So since Fox Ridge is Snarg's baby, I don't want to impose. If he wants that coordination, I'm certainly not opposed.
No. I mean, you're free to operate out of it. However, you're almost as good as. I mean, you're basically as good as an owner too.
I was also thinking of setting up a base of operations in, wasn't it Alarcos?
Yes, that's the other
the
major
south.
city you've been
Yeah.
already doing business out of.
Yeah. So, all right, if we want to set up, I'm not sure if Third can still hear me, but if we want to set up Fox Ridge as like the primary and Alarcos as a secondary, then I'd be okay with that.
You could also, from a purely merchant perspective, the economist in me taking over here for a second, you could just set these as different regional hubs. I mean, there's a lot of physical space between the two, and this could just service the north, and that could service the south or the west.
I know. I'm telling you this. It'd be stupid for me to say no.
That's not necessarily true, but okay.
Well, I mean,
There are plenty of...
what's better for a burgeoning city than a distribution trading hub?
Well, okay, fair enough, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, if we want to set up like Alarcos as a regional, Zykhal as a regional, and I think there were one or two other potential regionals.
Okay. Now I have a sticky question to ask, but I'm going to wait. Oh, Third's back. So I'm going to
I
ask...
can hear you guys. I'm sorry. I'm just doing some...
Okay. I couldn't remember if you had a mic on the remote headphones or not, so I wasn't...
I do. I'm actually using this mic right now, though, because
Okay.
I think it sounds better.
Oh, it sounds way better. It's noticeably higher quality. But
I think it does too.
Oh, thank you very much.
I think it sounds fantastic.
Ew, who's
I
that?
can't make my voice that low.
It was Abilene. It was Zanasma. She's the one.
Years of practice.
What's funny is I never practiced that voice. It just came naturally to me. Okay, in all honesty, though, Snarg and Guido, at some point over the
like
next
these colors.
like
I give
month or however long this is going to take, the GM, want you to decide how much you're going to be inviting Abilene into what is effectively your cooperative burgeoning enterprise.
32.
Apparently 32. That's my answer.
I don't know what that has to do with anything. 32% is now owned by Abilene. No, you get what I mean, though, right?
Just less than a third.
I mean, she's clearly part of the party, but from the perspective of Blood Fox, from the perspective of helping the city grow, from the perspective of Ice Your Shipping. I mean, I'm under the impression, please feel free to correct me if this is wrong, that Ice Your Shipping and Blood Fox might as well be the same entity from a loose perspective. And the two of you are basically running this joint cooperation between the two. I mean, obviously Snarg is in charge of Blood Fox and Guido's in charge of Ice Your Shipping, but the two are working so closely together that it's a full, shall we say, a partnership. I think is probably the
Yeah,
best
I
term.
mean, I guess when you come to the brass tacks, it's not. But offices are right across from each other.
Yeah, that kind of a. That's why I said loosely. Mm-hmm. It's not in the paperwork; it's in reality. Mm-hmm. So again, how much, if any, do you want to bring Abilene into that over the next month as she's working with you and training, and over the past weeks that you've been working with her?
Well, probably very greatly because she's one of the more reasonable order members, as well as obviously now demonstrating to be an accomplished weaver. And I'm assuming she'll probably want to have quite a bit to do with the order stuff that's going to be taking place here.
I was thinking about calling in and having an order outpost, which will also be majorly beneficial to
How about more than an outpost?
budgeting town.
How about more than an outpost? Really?
I don't know that I could do more than I don't think they have more than an outpost.
Well, we do need a new water temple.
I don't think they can build a water temple.
Well, we just need people to help and oversee.
How are you going to build a water temple?
We'll figure it out as we go, because we haven't done this before.
Well, when we get to there, we'll cross that bridge. Until then, Abilene will look at you with incredulousness at the mention of building your own water temple.
Well, maybe that's the wrong word.
Especially considering the fact that, and she'll say this, especially considering the fact that he's the one that broke the last one.
We just won't let him near it.
He won't break this one.
Just won't let
He'll
him
help
near it.
build this one, and that way it'll be perfect this time.
We're going to make the water temple great again.
I was going to turn
No,
that into a Zelda joke, but
But seriously, though, actually, we're calling. We're not making a Zelda water temple. That one.
come on, come on! Everyone will hate
okay,
it.
so
People
we're
will
gonna
go
make
there, and
this,
it's like, oh, I have to.
Geomancer Enclave with a bunch of movable stone blocks. They run around forever trying to figure out what to do. The entire time,
And you can raise and lower the water levels based on these switches.
And then when we
and
get
there's
to the end, there's a fish person who wants to marry you.
There's also like 15 keys, and you need all of them.
And then you go into someone's stomach and beat up their innards.
Yes.
Actually, that's not technically part of the water temple.
No, it
whatever.
isn't.
It might as well be. But no, the geomancers, and I'm assuming probably the order, are very interested in the stuff going on around
Absolutely.
here. So,
Absolutely.
I wonder if you want to, at the very start, establish an outpost and maybe head that up, or if you don't prefer doing that, maybe something else.
They have plenty of trained personnel that handle that kind of thing, but I will definitely help.
Facilitate.
Spearhead.
Or that.
Yes.
Champion. Carry the flag. Guido, what do you think? Because you haven't actually answered me.
Guido's going to be a bit more reserved.
Okay.
Because he thinks that I'm. Okay, so you have to bear in mind, Guido, that when this topic comes up between you and Snarg, I have been literally sticking to you like glue. You're probably having to have this conversation in the bathroom to have gotten away from me.
And she's just waiting outside like...
Like, you wake up in the middle of the night and there's a furry thing sitting on top of your helmet.
Well, now that said, like Zagmus was saying, the weaving training takes up a lot of time.
That is true.
But I'm like reading books. I'm like sitting on your shoulder reading books as you go places.
So, keeping in mind that before Zerial left, she told me
Things.
Certain things. I don't remember if those were said on camera or not.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was.
I think that was,
She
yeah.
said, watch out for Abilene.
Abilene is pure evil.
Right. So I'm going to be a bit more hesitant. I'm not as trusting.
Okay.
And he's probably been spending a lot of time trying to run away from me as I Pepe Le Pew behind him.
Pretty much, yeah.
I could just literally picture that, because the size difference between the two of you is like 8 feet. That's an exaggeration. It's like
He is 8 feet tall, and I am like 4 feet tall.
Yeah. So it's not quite that big, but still, it's a little bit of a height difference. And you're the one chasing him.
Boing, boing, boing.
So, no, that's totally cool. So I assume she's basically going to have no part with Icer shipping your baby. And that's fine. I just want to make sure I'm clarifying for my sake.
Yeah, I mean, unless she's facilitating something through the order that's going to help Icer work out the railroads or anything, there's not really much that Abilene, the Maglancer, can really do.
Okay.
So, while Guido will be appreciative of her
Enthusiasm.
companionship, he's going to be a bit aloof.
Okay. Sis, really quick, I know you don't want to think about Zerial, but I have a very simple question for you, and I already have an answer for it. I just want to...
Left.
For the sake of continuity, I want to make sure we're getting
42.
this down now.
Up the ladder.
I imagine that when Zerial gets word, because
Blue.
she will, that Fox Ridge is becoming an order post, or is gaining an order post, and is growing into a city, and they're working on a new water ley line thing, and all these other things, that Zerial will start avoiding the area. Please confirm or deny.
She was already kind of avoiding the area for other reasons.
And obviously your airship is not berthed here anymore.
Yeah.
Okay. That just...
Neither
that,
of them.
I just want to make sure that it's clear that Zerial is not showing up during these events, because we're covering like a month of time here, relatively.
I mean, she might have popped in at some point to just see how things were going, and then figured that out, and then was gone. Nothing noteworthy were to happen. She might have chastised Guido or Snarg.
And I imagine that, if she shows up, she will not then immediately say, all right, here's what we got to do, and start joining in the city development.
No, not unless she's asked to by other people.
I do have one very simple question, forgive me. This is a little more long-term, but will your you-know-what plans for the you-know-what involve you-know-whatting? I'm kidding. Will your plans for Segregate, do you want to start a trade route, or a supply route for that matter, through Fox Ridge for Segregate? And I do mean your Segregate, obviously.
Yes, I
The
know
real
what you're
one.
talking about. I will wait and see, because that plan, they're still in the process of construction.
Mm-hmm.
Part of that construction is going to involve a depot that's closer to civilized lands with an underground tunnel.
Sense make. And if I'm not mistaken, you haven't even decided on a location yet, so...
No, we've decided on a location. You picked one out. It was north. It was on that side.
Of
Sorry.
what? Give me something to go off of here.
Above the Dyers. In a south
okay.
of Stone.
No,
Cold,
I know
but above
exactly
the
where it
Dyers
is.
in a forested area that was very
Yep, right here. I'm still at it
unpopulated.
now. Okay.
Guido.
What?
If Guido had a chance to actually talk to Zerial, that's basically what he would have said.
I don't even
And
want to
Zerial's
know.
response would be, "You teleport away."
So that does still leave the option of Fox Ridge helping, but that can wait till later. I'm okay with that. I just wanted to cover that. So, all right. What time is it? Okay. I think we're going to wind down a bit because we've all, at least 3 of us have had a long day. But I do want to cover a couple other things really quick. So, obviously, Guido's... Let's start with Ice here, because that's the easiest thing for me. Obviously, that's expanding like frickin' crazy. I imagine you're really pushing the all-our-costs route, because that's your primary hub right now. Or, not primary hub. It is the hub that is making you the most money.
Right.
Let's put it that way. And obviously, you're funneling money into the north, which will eventually be making tons of money. How... actually, I want you guys to make this decision as a group. Basically, due to the unique situation going on here, you have the option of making Fox Ridge City, or whatever you want to call it. You could just call it Fox Ridge, that's up to you guys. Basically making it a member of one of the governments, either the Aljalemans or the Dominion. And therefore, they would, send mayors and deal with the bureaucratic nonsense and whatnot. And they would also be responsible for most of the financial aspects of running a city. Or you could keep it for yourselves with both the benefits and costs associated with that. And it could just be your city-state, basically. And there's probably other options. In fact, there's 3 or 4 I can think of right off the top of my head. But this city is growing regardless. It's just building up naturally, even if... And ignoring the fact that you're encouraging
perspective, From a player perspective, my suggestion would be keep it under your tutelage
You've already got people that are, working through the bureaucracies of a large organization. It wouldn't be that big of a deal to hire people. So basically you'd be setting up a fiefdom.
Yeah, like I said, a city-state, really. The city-state of Fox Ridge.
Yeah, I think it's in our best interest to stay independent from another big government for right now.
What do you think, Guido?
As much as... What's that?
We'll keep our taxes low for our sheer shipping.
That's true. Tariffs will be
as-
non-existent for taxi shipping.
Tariffs suck. I got tariffs at all.
As much as easing the burden of governing would be if we were to incorporate Al-Jalima or something, I think remaining independent for now is going to be a better option.
Okay. So that's 100% consensus then. And that's cool with me. For the sake of the GM's sake, and of course I do need to update the map soon, and I plan to do that like tonight probably. Do you want to just keep calling it Fox Ridge?
We'll need to name the township, because the township's going to be at the base of the mountain, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what we decided.
You could theoretically still just call it Fox Ridge if you want to.
I think Fox Ridge is the mountain.
What would you call the town, though?
Ridgeville.
No.
Fox Ridgeville.
Foxbriar.
Briar Fox.
No.
Briar Rabbit?
No.
That's the joke I was trying to get to anyways.
I know. Well, what's I think it actually depends on the type of people that are going to be living in it.
A large variety, I'll go ahead and tell you that. It's going to be a little bit of a melting pot situation.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have people from all over, actually. With the exception that you're not going to have a lot of Ostethians.
Sure, but that's kind of the case no matter where you are around here anyway.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, there will be equal
The point I was
numbers.
trying to bring up is you probably don't want to get a bunch of Illuvians and call it something that Illuvians hate.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
Well, I know you explained this several sessions ago, but how does the whole... actually, that doesn't even matter, because we're trying to distance ourselves from that. Never mind. Forget I said anything.
I will forget you
I know.
said anything.
Yeah, but new Stonehold.
Weren't you going to go with, like, Rockhold or something like that?
Oh, Ironhold?
Ironhold, that was it.
Pebble Hole.
What was
Pebble
it?
Hill.
Pebble.
I think that, if most of them were, like, stone refugees, that'd probably work.
You do have banderlings and ogres and trolls and orcs and elves and dwarves and half-elves and lord elves
under the mountain.
and Sclavi and Morsman and Burun.
That's just begging to be invaded.
Yes, it is. By a dragon
Yes.
who will call himself Fire and Death.
Not Smog.
No.
No, he's smug.
Yes. I am smug. Preen. New Stonehold. I don't know. I don't care. It's your guys' choice. You don't necessarily have to decide today, but I would like you guys to think about it. And so, like, name of city, if applicable. Name of nation, if applicable. It's up to you guys. So I wanted to cover that. That's related to... Okay, so getting back to ice your shipping really quick here. Basically, I want to know where you're focusing, or if you're focusing. You don't have to. You could just be like, I want to trade with everyone nearby. Now, obviously, splitting yourself out that much is going to involve not nearly as strong of a presence anywhere. Duh, right? Or you could really focus on, where's my map? I just had it. You could focus, for example, on I really want to trade over with Glendon Woods, or Zykal, or Rithwick, or Cragstone, all of which are in fairly quick accessibility there, or even Al Jalima if you really wanted to, and say, bam, I'm going to focus on that. And like when I say focus on that, obviously I mean like a region. So you're not just trading with Al Jalima, you're trading with Al Jalima and Karath and Salah and Al Hali and Al Zavros and Rayseed and Fort Bluegrass and Al Majma. You get the idea.
Yeah.
But I want to know if you're directing or if you're just saying trade and letting the dandelions scatter onto the wind. Snarg, well, he's debating that. I have a similar question for you. Are you focusing on a particular type of recruitment, or are you saying, come, dandelions, into my waiting arms? And that's how babies are made.
And I'm going...
Yes, and Dabbling's just over there. It's a joint effort, really. You're muted, Snark.
I said stop, I'm allergic to dandelions.
Okay.
So, a little bit of a focus, yes.
Okay.
Mainly on geomancer-related stuff.
Are you accepting summoners?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But of course, I'm going to be recruiting, some other types because, there's, like you said, there's going to be soldiers. They're just going to be flocking to there anyway.
Oh yeah. I gotta think about that actually.
And I'm guessing. Actually, there's technically 2 people as well that I want to seek out for at least meeting up, if not recruitment.
Okay, give me 1 second. All right, I'm sorry. So there's people you want to meet.
Actually, 3.
3 people you want to meet.
Yes, the first person, who I want to find, because maybe just be interesting anyway, Scargill.
Okay. Unfortunately, I don't know what Scargill's doing right now because someone already recruited him, I think. Yes. And so I'm not actually sure what he's doing and what his reaction to that would be. So we'll just say, for the sake of simplicity, you have a hard time finding him.
Okay. Another person who I know I'd mentioned this before. I don't know if anything come of it. It was also because the last time I saw him, he was sitting in a bar. Radnall.
Radnall, yes. Yes. Okay. We'll roll up for this one. Actually, I'll make you roll. D20, no modifiers.
I got a 19.
That is really good. Wow. Okay, so with little effort, and almost frickin' immediately, you hunt down Radnall. At the moment, since you have the ability to frickin' teleport around, you can catch him before he leaves. I'm assuming you're using Vincent for this.
He'd probably one of the people I'd ask, and he may be like, hey, he's over there. All right, let's go meet him.
Yeah, yes. Let me think. Oh, he's right there. So, right now, Radnall is actually up in the city of Blackrust, which is in the Holtberg province.
Mm-hmm.
And he has been spending the last few weeks not only getting up there, but basically preparing for an expedition to the lost continent of Aburian.
Great. That actually ties in exactly to one of my other things I was going to do.
Oh, God. So, yeah, he'll see you, and he'll be like, hey! He'll recognize you from both of your previous encounters.
Little bit ambitious, but because I was actually going to create a new wing of the Blood Fox eventually. Called the Farce Raiders.
The Suicide Wing.
Well, it's a group dedicated to the exploration of the unexplored areas. We're going to start with this continent, but maybe eventually make our way over to Aborian.
Hey, sis, you know what's on that continent, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, continue.
And also, their secondary thing is the protection of any frontier towns.
That's
so
actually
they're kind of the trailblazers.
Yeah, okay, I'm with it. There's still plenty. Yeah, there's still a lot of parts of the map, even on this continent, that are not filled in, and that's on purpose. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm basically like, look, if you, I know he's good. I know you're good. I want to recruit you basically for what you're already doing already, but you're going to have so much more backing and stuff to choose from.
I see. And what's the catch?
You have to take a paycheck.
Okay, what's the other catch?
You have to train people.
Oh, I gotta train people? Damn it.
Wasn't he the one?
Someone.
Didn't he have involvement in training in the past?
Yeah, he actually basically built his own militia.
Yes.
So my own sarcasm didn't occur. When he says it sarcastically. Oh, I gotta train people, man, and I gotta explore things, man. No, seriously, who do you represent politically? I mean,
Everyone.
what do you mean, everyone?
At this point, we kind of represent everyone, but Asta.
Well, pretty much. But we're still independent.
Ah, so you're independent, but also everyone at the same time.
Yes.
Okay. I suppose, and
there's no one up there that I. All right, let me put it this way: there's no one Starg knows up there saying they're pulling strings.
Oh, well, okay then. That's cool. In that case, I mean, you've got my interest, I'll admit, and he'll haggle pay and responsibilities and all the minute details that we will not be covering.
He can get a grand tour of the area if he wants to look at it too.
Are you teleporting him back?
I mean, unless he wants to walk the whole way.
Okay, so he is going to wig the hell out at the fact that you have access to that kind of teleportation.
Because that doesn't exist.
Yeah. Like, that's not an exit spell. I know an exit spell when I see one. And that's not desolation, because I don't want to murder you in your face.
Yeah, you're not wrong. ... Look, it's very complicated.
Hang on, let me do a
But if
wig.
you say yes, you have a seat on the council, and
Well, he doesn't piss himself.
that's good. I would hope that he would not. I'd be the last person I would expect to do that.
No, he wouldn't do that anyways. That was more of a how he's going to take this role. And he's just going to be like, all right, so you got some new psionic tech or whatever. That's fine. Okay, you know what? You can keep your secrets. Obviously, that's the kind of thing you want to keep quiet about. And I will not mention it. Don't worry. I understand how these things go. And then he will take the tour.
Yep.
And he'll say, you've got the makings of your own fiefdom here. Are you going to call it Fox Ridgeville?
We're still workshopping that idea.
How about Briar Fox?
That's already been put on the blacklist.
Ah, damn. I had another idea related to that, but I won't bore you with it. Okay, so you hire him. You have successfully convinced him.
Fox Ridge. What about Briar Rabbit?
Oh my god.
It's on the blacklist too. There's one last specific recruitment that I want to do.
Okay.
I don't actually know the person's name.
Okay, that's going to make it a little bit trickier.
I know where they are, though, or where they were. Do you remember way back when that White Mage Buran that first taught Snarg that improved Asuna?
Zethos? No, I'm kidding.
No, it was not him. Maybe he said his name back then. This was during the Forum campaign, so I don't remember.
There was a white mage that he met back in their original town.
Yes.
I'm actually not remembering that.
He may have been part of the Order. I don't recall.
I'm actually running through the first few adventures in my head, trying to remember where that would have happened.
He literally just took a break and was talking to the dude.
I think that was in the
happened
Order
later
town.
in the campaign.
I think that was in the third mission, or the third adventure, yeah. Around when you were dealing with the water golem?
I think so. Yes.
Yeah, I think that's right. Okay, so you want to find White Mage McGee.
I found out where it was, I think.
Uh-oh.
Oh, wait a minute. I don't think it was a Buron.
don't remember what he was.
Oh, it was an Othoi.
So you want to hire an Olthoi?
Well, that may be a little more harder than I thought, because I thought I remembered it as a Baron.
I'm like, I don't want to say no. If this is a 20, no.
You're gonna have to be damn convincing.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm not going to say no, but hiring an Olthoi is going to be a little tricky.
A lot tricky.
It also depends on what you want them for. Like,
White Mantry.
so yeah, that's going to be insanely tricky.
Ouch. All right, we'll put that in the back burner for now and put some feelers out. But
Okay.
yeah, that got a little more complicated than I thought it would be.
Well, I will say this: even hiring a white mage in general is still going to be tricky right now. White mages, unlike most of the rest of the military, are actually still in high demand since they were already a rare resource, and now there's a lot of recovery going on.
Mm-hmm.
So
I
possible,
gave him a gift too.
but tricky. What'd you give him?
A silver dagger.
He looked at it and was like, "I will open many letters with this."
I guess so. All right.
Okay.
I just had a potentially bad idea.
Uh-oh.
Not bad, just kind of silly.
Okay.
Zan, what was your original Olfoy's character's name?
Kesrinthka. She's a yellow mage.
Doesn't matter.
She's not going to be able to be hired.
Well, I mean,
No, I just want to send a message to her and ask if she wants to be the cook trainer for the caravans.
well, that will be ridiculously easy to get a message to her. So, Kizrinthka, you get a message from Guido asking you to be the trainer chef for these chefs that he's hiring.
You get to be Gordon Ramsay.
You'll get a letter back that says that she has to respectfully decline.
Because she's busy on her phone.
Because she's busy on the Spurka.
Yeah, I know. Spurka's really busy right now. Mostly on cleanup work from the war.
I just thought it was a good, callback to.
No, it's an amusing thing. What's funny is Kizrenthka could cook circles around those chefs you're hiring.
Well, right.
Now, it occurs to me, hiring an Olthoi for the purposes of that, as opposed to being part of a military unit, is a little more likely to succeed.
Just not Kesrinthka.
Yeah. So if you are still interested in that, that is actually on the table.
I just remember that Kesrinthka was a good cook, and that was one of her things. She was always looking for
Okay. You don't have to have a random Olthoi cook. It's okay.
Well, I mean, if Kesrinthka has a recommendation.
Does Kazrenthka have a recommendation?
Well, there's the lady that taught me how to cook.
Hang on. I have Olthoi names. You're going to have to give me a minute, though. I think is technically the name.
I'll bet.
This will be a someone of Gardner. It will be the clan. Hang on, I've actually got separate notes for Olthoi, just for Olthoi. Here we go. How about we'll go with... No, it's too late, Kazrinska. Let's make it a guy. Azerthok. Azrethoc. It's actually kind of how it sounds. And he's a pretty good chef. He likes cooking. He's actually currently in...
And she'll say, he taught me how to cook.
He's in Arwick right now, we'll say.
Okay. Yeah, if he wants to be hired on to train the caravan cooks, then awesome.
So he will teach them things they never knew they could do with salt. The beef jerky those men will have will be the best beef jerky they've ever had. Seriously, it's going to be good stuff. He will demand proper supplies, but you can arrange that. I'm not going to make you deal with the hassle of that.
Yeah, I mean, if he's headquartered in Fox Ridge, he will have proper supplies. The caravans are not going to have those same supplies.
Well, yeah.
He's just training the caravan cooks. So
Yeah.
that, yeah.
So as he gets better and better at that, he's going to it's going to become a bit of a spectacle for some people to come by, because what he's doing is he's challenging them to be creative. So he's basically giving them literal challenges. You know, this is your limitation, cook. This is your limitation, cook with this.
Special supplies, blah 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 blah. I'm thinking, what is the current gluten free?
And he will, and it will become popular to watch these events. And slowly, by bit, you have a cooking show. Today's special ingredient, Albert!
Iron Chef.
Not quite that, though. There's actually a show I've seen that does that, where, like, you have to cook this thing with tweezers. You can't actually physically touch the food. Or you have to cook with these 5 ingredients, make something work with it, you know? I've seen shows like that. I do like the kind of creative cooking thing. Because that's what real cooking is, sis. Anyways, so yeah, that's the kind of thing he'll start doing. As an aside, at some point, Sethos is going to send a message to you, Guido. And
Okay.
Sethos has been named... Oh, wow, where are my notes on that? I don't even know where I made my notes on that. So, as I mentioned, the show Empire doesn't exist anymore. It has been consumed into the Dominion. I shouldn't say it like that. That makes it sound horrible. The show Empire has peacefully transitioned, with smiles on their faces, into the Dominion. But as a result, because of the fact that the Alterationists worked, most of the old provinces have been rewritten, and a lot of the old traditions have been tossed away, blah, blah, blah. Point being, Sethos, for his significant position there, is basically a very important individual now. He's actually technically a lord in terms of political power and whatnot. And he, through the grapevine, heard about icier shipping, which, thanks to the stuff you were already doing, was already kind of feeling out to show, and you already had the general out there. So through that connection, he finds out about this, and he's like, Guido! So, based on pure nepotism, he wants to hand over a major shipping contract for the entire region to you. This will be a naval shipping contract for most of the new region that's being founded there. And I know I built the new map for, like, the new show territories, and I don't remember where I did it, but it's the new show territory that's kind of around the Maoi region and consumes of part of what used to be Shaoxi. And it's basically like, if you're looking at the map, if you can find Maoi, which is like straight southeast corner of the continent, most of that coast from Sanua up to Sukaru is going to be what he's offering you. And again, lots and lots of naval trade.
Well, I'm definitely not going to turn it down.
Okay. And he even admits it's like pure nepotism. It's like, I know you, you're my old friend. Have stuff. Supply us. And you're going to make it slightly cheaper, right? I mean, to help us out too. You know?
We'll do our
Prices
best.
will not increase.
Okay.
I can guarantee the prices will not increase.
Okay.
If possible, if I can make it cheaper, then obviously, it makes good business sense because trade will then increase.
Okay. Well, we'll see what unfolds as a result of that. Sincerely, Sethos. Actually, his name is now Sethos, and I forget it, but basically he has earned his second name now.
Ah.
So, Sethos Earthsons or something like that. I have it written down. I don't remember where. Sorry. Alright, so... one more thing here, before we cut it off for the evening and I go to frickin' bed. Abilene. That's terrifying. No, it scares me. Go away. So, Abilene, you are going to be approached sometime during the next month while this is happening, as your skills as a weaver are improving. By the way, roll a d4 twice, and add the result to your weaving skill. You're going to be approached by... I'm trying to think how to phrase this. You're going to be approached by someone you recognize from the Order, and they're going to basically feel out... What?
I didn't hit backspace, so my weaving skill went from 32 to 3,239.
No! I'll weave the new water temple right now!
By myself.
And Gerlin's off like, damn, girl. What the hell? Anyways, so she will,
You really can tell I've lost weight in my face.
She will
Notice until it's on camera.
approach you and feel out your loyalties, basically. What are your loyalties, Abilene?
Who's approaching me?
A member of the Order.
Okay.
They're basically thinking about recruiting you, and they say this flat out, for a special ops group within the Order.
I am 100% order oriented.
So you're definitely in favor of the Order. But what do you think, what are your political leanings? I mean, what do you think about this whole Dominion thing?
I'm here on a mission.
Yes, of course, but that's not what I'm asking. Don't you think it was better back when we had more of an agrarian society with people just kind of taking care of their families and their neighbors?
I guess.
He says she says probingly.
I don't know. I hadn't really thought about that.
Well, think about it. Give it some thought, and let me know what you think about that. Regardless, you're probably going to have a couple of new missions on the thing soon. That'll be the next session. So just keep it in mind. Just keep it in mind.
Okay.
And then she hands you the 2 dossiers, and those will be the missions I'll discuss next session.
Okay. I don't know what she would think about the concept of going back to an agrarian society. I'll actually have to think on that as a player.
Okay, well, think about it, because they will want an answer. Regardless, I think that's everything. Does anybody else have any other questions before we cut it off?
I'm going to send you an email, because it doesn't need to be just trade stuff, so
okay.
It doesn't be on camera.
Okay.
Just watch for that.
I will do so.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else.
Third snarg. Third snarg.
I mean, there's more doing stuff, but it sounds like we are starting next chapter of stuff next time.
Well, we can continue time skipping if you really want to. I'm okay with that. I can do political GMing without even it's good. It's easy for me. I'm good at it.
I actually thought up one more recruitment.
Go ahead.
The Lamias.
They can't leave the spatial temple, though.
That's not true. They just need spatial energy to feed off of.
Yes, we've proved we can create that.
That's also true.
Yes. And they also promised me training, so.
Okay. Okay, so here's the thing. I'll go ahead and do this now. You, the player, have to convince them. They're not interested in money. They have zero use for money. Unless you're not providing them room and board, in which case they will need some money to provide for room and board.
No, I was totally thinking of providing them, room and board and everything. I just assumed that they would probably not want to be stuck to one location forever.
They're used to it. It's not really that big of a deal for them.
They have no aspirations or anything.
We came here specifically to retire.
Oh.
Maybe they don't want to go.
What's their ideal retirement?
We had it.
Please describe your ideal retirement.
A blasted hell's... The place they were earlier.
Okay. So would they be interested in having a place custom created for them? You mentioned that.
Suppose.
Last time you did that, it was really bad.
I could always take them home.
That's true. Although
Then
they
they
are,
get eaten.
yeah, as I say, they definitely don't want to get home and get eaten by the giant reed sharks.
No, so, I mean, seriously, this isn't going to be going,
There's-
bam, let's make a thing. But I think through their help and training and the proper safe nuclear blast area, then we can give them a place very much like what they had back there without the danger of gigantic reed sharks trying to eat them whole and have a nice retirement. Plus, I'm sure they'd be interested in some of the geomancy stuff going on around here.
Okay. Are you mentioning anything else to try and convince them?
Left.
Mention anything else? I mean, aside from basically providing, a new ideal retirement area.
What I'm trying to say, let me make this more clear. They're not quite sold. They're thinking about it, but at the moment they're just like, I don't know.
I'm trying to think what else I could, offer
That's
them.
not
what
going
they
to be
want.
true for much longer, brother.
Yes, I know. Sorry, what?
So I'm trying to think of what else I could offer them. What else they'd want, because they don't seem to want much aside from just we're just going to lay around.
Basking in the violet glow.
Mm-hmm.
The glow.
Besides, the Order has probably already hired them to manage the spatial temple.
Well, I mean, if they're not like, we'll do it for this. I mean, I don't know what else.
Okay. Well, they'll basically tell you, if you think of anything else, let us know. But for now, we'll go ahead and politely decline.
Are they interested in exploration
Exploration of what?
of unexplored places?
That's
There's places in this continent that no one's ever been before.
So descriptive.
Well, how can I be descriptive of a place I've never been to?
that might be interesting.
But how would we feed?
Yes, that's a good point.
Well, I actually have an idea for a
Those
a
are
mobile
not
feeding
real.
device.
What?
Mobile feeding device.
Mobile feeding devices aren't real?
No, I'm sorry.
Not yet.
True. Okay. Well, let's
No,
say
it's essentially a woven ball
He wants to
of
weave
whatever,
spatial energy.
and then it gets imbued with a geomancer who can do the thing, and they've got a mobile device that just hovers off the ground.
Okay. We'll say a couple of them, literally 2, are interested in this exploration thing. It's been
Almost
a long
half of
time.
them.
It's been a long time since we've done exploration. And who knows, maybe the world's changed since we last saw it.
Probably has.
But first, you need to get our food situation under control.
Yes, food. We're very hungry. Oh, no.
Well, Abilene,
We're literally either starving or fine.
It's a feeding trough.
You want me to try to weave spatial?
no, actually, literally don't even need to do anything other than weaving a block of earth that will hover indefinitely, and we can just move around. And
That's
then I can imbue that with their little spatial energy, and as we've seen, it just spreads the things that are touching it.
We've only tried it once.
Well, we'll try it
Emily
again.
wasn't there, though, so she's not going to argue. So she will attempt to imbue a rock,
With hovering.
mass of rock, to float.
Give me a roll. A weaving roll.
I rolled.
I like the idea that Abilene is actually enthusiastic about this. Like, ooh, making rock hover. And then she makes rock that can't get off the ground with her 3. Like, it's got super
It's
gravity.
really, really heavy rock.
Yeah, and so she's like, here, Guido, lift this. Okay, let me try again.
I've created the material that makes Thor's hammer.
There you go. This is where it actually originates, guys. This is
I think
connected to
this
the
may
MCU.
require a montage.
Gonna need a montage. Sorry.
Gonna build a map.
I wasn't the only one to think of that.
Yeah, that's just came to mind immediately. All right, but Evelyn will.
In so many words, that's what I'm trying to do. Yes.
Okay, so Evelyn will eventually succeed at that. Why don't we
just a really long time?
Yeah, why don't we describe the exact effects of you imbuing a chunk of rock hovering in the air with spatial energy later?
Okay. I mean, this isn't something that's like, all right, it's floating, kaboom! All right,
yeah, I was going to say, where are you doing this? What defenses do you have in place? What countermeasures do you have in place?
No,
do you have
this
anyone
is
there
actually
other
going to be
than
something
you?
that, assuming those two Lemire, if the other ones want to come, they can too. To oversee this along with a lot of the other geomancers, because I promised Taranok he'd get to see the next time this happened and study it.
That's true.
So it's not like the three of us out in the middle of a town going, hey, look at this.
I would love that. Terrorist attack on Terranoth.
No, I mean, since we actually have the personnel, the resource and stuff, this is going to be more than wild adventure experiments out in the middle of nowhere.
Okay. Actual empirical studies. Sigh. Doing things properly.
And hopefully the Lamia will get to impart some knowledge on all of us as well.
She says, did you know that I remember the planet your people are from? To Snarg. I've visited before. They have wonderful food there.
Wait, a null planet?
Anyways, she immediately moves on. And, no, there weren't just gnolls there. Don't be silly. She starts reshaping the rock a little bit that's now hovering, that Abilene has finally grafted. She looks at it, she says, this is one of the worst pieces of weaving I've ever seen in my life. What is...
I'm just starting off. What do you want from me?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize... I'm sorry. Would you like some tips?
By the way, these people are far beyond...
I spent 4 days trying to make that rock float.
So she, like...
Wait, show them the cheer trick.
Try picking this one up.
Oh, that's right. Abilene's never seen this, so they will demonstrate the reshaping trick and just kind of pull the ground up under Abilene into a chair and reshape it into a chair for her.
I said, there, it's okay. I said, you'll learn how to do it eventually, and I pat her on the head.
We have had many centuries of experience, milady. Please do not fret.
You try and pick up the rock.
Okay.
Don't use your shitty weaving.
She thinks about that for a moment, and then reaches over, grabs the rock, and lifts it.
Fuck you.
Aww. She walks over and says, I'm so sorry. Here. And she starts making some tea out of the ground. Like turning dirt into tea. Trust me, it's good. Now, you've never had this type of tea before, but it is very good, and it actually energizes you.
You should try the ice cream.
Would you like more? I can make plenty more if you'd like.
No. She said, I can do that. She goes and she drinks her teacup, tea full of tea, and then she puts some dirt in there, and then pours water in it.
The truth about tea finally comes out.
We knew it all along. All this whole game, we've had tea as a thing, and it's always been dirt water. Anyways, I need to do a dice roll. Hang on. That's better than I thought it would be. Okay, so we'll go ahead and say that your little trick works. It's very, very Band-Aid. Basically, it needs to be occasionally... It's like a battery. We'll think of it that way. It needs to be recharged every now and again.
Okay, well, we'll improve on this, but it's loads better than what was here before.
Okay. And it doesn't destroy the nearby area because you didn't roll below a 12.
Good.
We didn't have a spatial bomb.
No, that would have been a... If it was a 1, I was going to laugh.
What happened? You'd had a spatial nuke.
All right, I need you all to re-roll. Because you are now horrible abominations. Except Guido, he's just normal. Anyways, I think that's everything. Does anyone else have anything else before we
Cut
move
to
on?
7 months later, Guido is walking around with a small furry spaz of a purple shadow. And a slightly larger furry spaz of a purple shadow.
Yep.
Holding their hands walking around a giant crater.
Yep. This
I
is all
called them by flying purple people eaters.
Anyways, I think we're gonna go ahead and cut it off here, unless anyone else has anything else.
I do not.
Okay.
Nope.
Then